Yep.
Alright. So, okay, here's something. Okay, so there is something called college elections. That's what
Electoral colleges.
Well, I'm just gonna call it college elections.
How about calling it electoral colleges?
Oh,
Electoral
electoral
colleges.
colleges. I can't say that.
Well, you just did.
I can't say that in a full sentence. I'm just gonna call it how I'm gonna call it. So that, actually three colleges, I think.
No. Washington gets 12. See, Washington gets 12 electoral votes.
Correct. So if Biden doesn't win against Trump, he'll get that country, or state or something. He'll get that state, that state, that state. It goes on. But if Trump wins full president, then he'll get everything right there. And the Democrats were cheating. Turns out that the Democrats were doing something. What were they doing again? I remember something.
Is this your video or mine?
Oh yeah. Well, here it is. Okay, one thing I know about what the Democrats did, what the people at the election places were doing, they were actually giving some people Sharpies. Sharpies. Now, you're gonna say, well, that's not a very big deal, it's just a Sharpie. Well, here's the thing. Normally, I'm just gonna say it. The only time that your vote actually counts is now ready for this part? Is if it is with an ink pen. If it is with a Sharpie, it is not gonna count. It does not count. So, what I would probably do in that situation, I'm just saying what I'd do, I would throw the Sharpie on the floor. Wouldn't most people do that? They probably, if they knew that they can't do it, their vote won't count with a Sharpie.
They might, but people didn't know that.
Yeah, but if they're still doing it, if they still are doing it, then somebody probably would have found out and thrown their Sharpies on the ground. I bet they weren't even good Sharpies. I bet they were almost out. Anyways. But anyways, back to the point. So, here's something to think about. So I was sort of getting on the news, seeing the election, how many votes they were having. So let's say Trump has 56 votes, correct? That's what they're counting on the news. And Biden has 34. And then it goes to Biden has 56 now, and Trump only has 37. Explain that to me. How? How does that make sense exactly? Tell me, just anybody in the comments, just go. Say why that makes sense. That Trump's score was lower than what they actually just showed you. Explain that to me. Answer, you can't explain it. Because it's not true. You see, the normal news is actually lying about Trump. Anytime he says anything, they go and lie and say he said the exact opposite. Let's say Trump said, I am not a racist. What would the news team do? They would go and say he said that he was a racist. That's what the news would do. In fact, the news has taken over this old lady a few blocks down, I think. Correct? A few blocks down from us. And she has about four Democratic signs. All because she's been watching the normal news. And they took advantage of her. All they care about right now team does not give a crap about you. They don't care. They don't care about you at all. They only care about the money that you pay them to get to watch their show that tells you lies. So explain to me. But it doesn't matter who wins this election. Now tell me, for all the Christians watching, since I and my father have been Christians for very many years, who is the throne? Who has the throne in heaven?
Jesus.
And
The Father.
now, who wins this election? Who's still the king in heaven? And who still sits on the throne in heaven?
The Father and Jesus.
So no matter if Trump wins, it doesn't matter if Trump wins, but it's going to be a lot better than what's actually going to happen. You see, if Biden wins, God made him win, and he put him there for a reason. But listen, if Trump wins, this is going to go bad either way. Doesn't matter who wins this election. That's what I'm going to say. Alright, here we go. So if Trump wins, things aren't going to be as bad as you would think it's going to go down. If Trump wins, things will go a little better. But, just but, the Biden people are going to throw an absolute fit, and they're going to go burning down their buildings. They're going to go, you know what else they're going to be doing? They're also going to be terrorizing our people. But if Biden wins, all hope is lost. All hope is lost. In fact, my dad, I think there's a college here where we are, and it's actually right now, it's a Democratic city, and we're actually in that exact state, and guess what? That's owned by Democrats, and we're Republicans here. But here's the thing. If Joe Biden wins, we don't care. We're moving. We're moving to some Republican state. In fact, that's been said by a wonderful person who I would not be here telling you the truth. All you 5-year-olds being told that Trump's a bad guy, telling all of you the truth. I wouldn't be here if my father had not had a baby that was me. If he did not, you have me, treated me like an absolute son, and put God first and taught me the word of God, I would not be here today telling you the truth. So congrats to my dad. Give him all the love and support that he deserves. He has 428 subscribers from what I know, and
505 on our ministry channel.
Oh. Well, anyways, he should probably get a little more than what he's actually getting. But I think if you support this channel, that I may be able to talk a little more about this election. And YouTube, just a couple things to you, YouTube. Go ahead, censorship us. Ban us off of YouTube for a couple days. Ban us entirely off of YouTube. It doesn't matter. We'll come back either way. So go ahead. You want to come get our guns? Come and get them. That is all.